Buonasera. Um, Thank you all for being here. I want to especially say thank you to Piersandra and Francesco, Beatrice, Anna, all the folks who made it possible for me to be here with you this evening. And I've been looking forward to it and excited about it for a long time. Uh, I just started thinking a minute ago that maybe this is the ideal situation for reading poetry, the ideal test, because for me at least, and I think in the tradition that I like to think of myself as being a part of, the most important thing is sound and musicality. And the best place to test it is with a bunch of folks who maybe don't have English as their first language. Um, so even if you don't know everything that's going on, at least you can try to discern if there's some music here. So, okay. Rock the party, fuck the smackdown. Under Bill Brown's blue Chicago, there's unrest in response to continued scolding. Thing, object, matter ain't the same as one another. Things don't represent, they must be broke. They cannot pay attention to objects like objects, so they stay mad all the goddamn time. Broken glasses everywhere. But I sound better since you cut my throat. The checkerboard is also a chessboard. It's also a cutting board and a soundboard. It's also a winding sheet and a sound booth. Now you're bored with all these healthy choices, and you don't want to sound as clean as this. Shit smoothed out on me by accident, too. How did I get here? I lost my ideological mama and her things in storage in North Las Vegas, but no matter, ain't no thing. 'Cause when the morning breaks, I'm gonna get my sound back, and all my native weather will be mine. 5 points, 10 points. Whiteness ain't the same as them, a grave in exchange for the commons. Blackness is a range of deviations from in the commons. Said no to the state from growl to funked up air, from Ja to Maya, Bobby to Little Esther. Motherfuckers gave up the commons for a grave. You gave up the commons for a grave, but black migrates for who it is not for, like Dee Dee. So get this up in you, cut of the black key. Won't come when you call, but them handbills, found broadsides for runaways. My crew is in the corner all the time and roll the stone. For romance, the unhardened minimal sound attorney, ungarroted, took grave accent to secret stash for striving. The serial tonic still bursts away from ridiculous preachers in seizing and flying. Indented Glasgow servants long for Henrik Larsson in flat black lines. You gave up the commons for a grave. Broken Windows is a small-time patriarch, a little bitty port authority. The fucked up waterfront is buried in safety from backward flowing water and charred current ballads with flight inside from wanting what they got and got a grave. Your fluent capture is the same as them, except your serial remains. Gail Jones. My daddy drank red soda pop. Once he wanted a Fleetwood, then he wanted a navigator so he could navigate, check out his radio towers, deliver flowers, drive back to give me long kisses, watch mama burn her books. Said Nancy Wilson can't sing, but she can style. Hold back the force of random operators, return to the line, refuse to punctuate. A moon. But his actual drive was watching clay circle, tight-breathed hunch, tight shoulder. Sweet Nancy Wilson was just cold analytics, the difference between a new coat and the one with ink on the pocket. Calculate, like a fat young minister, stroking like Clarence Carter, increase like Creflo Dollar. Mama and me stayed up over the club, cried sometimes in the same, broke off the same piece, left each other the last piece, practiced the same piece, got warm on the same. However, I'm so full this morning, I have to try and make you understand. William Parker. My town is very large array. Look at me. Look up inside my circle and my sounds, at my music to my left, at the birds in the tree machine. My music dreams about my mama to my boy. They sing to each other in a secret for the ordinary culture. The folded play on the street about bird pretending and flute stealing till it's time to go to Play Mountain. All this is in the nature of my shelves. They are the head archive of very large array. And if you listen close, Birmingham and the wind blowing in from Chicago, throwing ends from Chicago, California, and Rossville, Tennessee, and Hamtramck, Michigan, to United Sound are all together on the longest road I know, cut door by door in violent courtyards. They decided their skirts meant something to do with movement in the page frame, song for a moving picture of the tone world, for the remote trio, the internal world theater, inner ear of the inside songs of Curtis Mayfield by William Parker, theater in the near, flavor that inside-outside opening, the ear's folds, its courses, in the open space, do it to me in my common ear hole, its porches, insurge of the tone wheel, gone in the sound booth, deep in the inner sound, y'all. Invasive song up in you to get down through everybody's open window. Now my broke inside is a tent city. I live hard in tent cities. My town is very large array. Fred McDowell. Frank Ramsey. What can't be said, and it can't be whistled either. It can be whispered. Sorry. Anyway, I'll start over. Frank Ramsey. What can't be said, and it can't be whistled either. It can't be whispered. The burden can be muted. No wave and the barren sequence rise on our account. Triple soft but lashed, like in the first instance, which can be sung. The right to love refusal is Black music. The song about desire always wants to disappear. In the second instance, she released in public chastity, flirting at the club and wound. Damaged from repeating, can you stay? Be my autograph and discompose. If only you do not try to utter what is unutterable, then nothing gets lost. But the unutterable will be unutterably enjoyed in what has been enjoyed. Nancy Wilson. These are excerpts from a section of a book called The Field Trio, and the section is called Block Chapel. Whenever I listen to Cornelius, I think of Cecily, then Fry, then House, then read The Blacks with Peter Paul. But sometimes it gets deep in the hold and the cell's hard pleasure curls up in the water. So I sail the dark river in the mind by rocket ship. My high water everywhere is outer space, Alabama, and stay alive in the concept with an outbound feeling of refuge. I'm gonna run, I'm gonna run to the city of refuse in Russell's Anarchy for Angola by SOAS. Then bright Dennis Morris take my baby picture and I'm risen in the bombed out underground. I get preoccupied with the tonal situation. I got to kiss somebody to end up in the original. It's like that outside drama is our knowledge of the world and nobody claims it but us. We get it twisted in the diagram. We know the score. We got a plan. Welcome to what we took from is the state. Welcome to kill you, bird. The welcome state in its hurt world, where you've been lost and tied, bird. There's some hot water on the second floor, and the altar on the bottom is an ordered pair of lemon chocolate on the curb. Get jumped in, enjoy the recital and the hospitality. Come upon surround, recall the project rubble everywhere. Come up on some common operations. Drink the open of the open evening mix. English breakfast and some curd and light whipping. Get up on the cooling board of new opposite steps and come upon remains arranged by hand like an English garden. Can't you refuse the unsung isolation? The sad, impersonal, personal shit that play off every other Frank but my little irregular Frank. His body shaped like an accordion, his body shaped like a pear. In the everyday feast day, but come up on. You the one with so much work to do, merchant. Sing a shattered self is just a shelf, young captain. See? You perfectly welcome to what we give away. It's from another section of that book called I Ran From It and Was Still in It. I burned communities in shadow, underground, up on the plateau, then slide with the horny horns. Vision's festival is folded in overtones and outskirts. Jay Tizol, Harry Carnival, and Field lined out around an open forte. An underprivilege of the real presence, curled up around an outlaw corner. Curling around corners puts me in mind of Gene Toomer. I think I'll change my name to Gene Toomer. I want to be a stream tuner, unfurled in tongues that won't belong in anybody's mouth. Mass swerving from the law of tongues. Let me slip my slap tongue speech in your ear. The burnt, starry star of all love in your ear. Oh, for a muse of fire music. I often amount to no more than a stylistics, Aryan love and uncountable song, and I want to amount to nothing more than that. My gift is more than you can carry. All other things are just my style. My thing is everything, and there's nothing more than my bouquet, my uncountable thing outside. My voices inside blow up inside, a blackening gift from a broken hand. We were cagey in our bib caps, and our overcoats carried the hidden weight of our broken circle. Lost city people make the world go round. Remember that time at the Marriott Wardman Park? I am foment. I speak Blinglish. At work they call me, but I don't come. I come when she called me by my rightful name. I come to myself from far away, just laid back in the open. I ran from it and was still in it. It's a blue division on my goodbye window. I'm full of outer space. I'm free as dread all night. I get clung with a voice that gets held back by surge protection. I'm daddy. I come when he crazy. He call me. I'm crazy. I come when he called me once upon a time in Arkansas. When the water come, I come to the unprotected surge and division in my old new sound booth. I am F. Moten. The Gramsci Monument. If the projects become a project from outside, then the project's been a project forever. Held in the projects, we the project they stole. We steal the project back and try to give it back to them. Come on, come get some of this project. We protect the project with our open hands. The architect is in mining and we dispossess him. We protect the project by handing. Let's bust the project up. Let's love the project. Can the projects be loved? We love the projects. Let's move the projects. We project the projects. I'm just projecting the project's mind to give away. I'm not mine when I dispossess me, I'm just a projection. Projection's just us, that's who we are, that's who we be. We always be projecting, that's all we have. We project the outside that's inside us. We the outside that violates our block. We violate the auction block experiment. We pirates of ourselves and others. We the friend of all. We the cargo. Are you my treasure? You all I need. Are you my wish? Come be my sunship. You are my starship. You meant to fly, but don't be late. I dream the sails of the project from the eastern shore. Plywood sails the city island past the enclave mirror till the bricks arise. At the fugitive bar and the food be tasting good. Kitchenette, my cabin, and flesh be burning in the hold. I love the way you smell. Your cry enjoys me. Let me taste the way you think. Let's do this one more time while the project repeats me. The project incompletes me. I am replete with the project. Your difference folds me in your arms, my oracle with sweets. Be my confection engine. Hear my plea. Tell me how to choose. Tell me how to choose the project I have chosen. Are you the projects I have chosen? You are the project I choose. It's not that I want to say. It's not that I want to say that poetry is disconnected from having something to say. It's just that everything I want to say eludes me. But if I caught it, I wouldn't want it, and you wouldn't want it either. Maybe poetry is what happens on the bus between wanting and having. I used to think it was what happened on the bus between Oakland and Berkeley, and it was too, like Violet, Texas, in people's voices. All kind of subtle transmission broke off by stops and bells, repercussive riding, mobile contact, slow symposium. Now, even in the absence of my office, I still want to move, and so I have to move, but never get there in this whole extended region of not being there, of stopping and saying, not here, and of that being, in the end, pretty much all I have to say. What I want to say is that having something to say is subordinate in the work of being true to the social life in somebody else's sound and grammar, its placement in my head, my placement in the collective head as it moves on down the line. The itinerant ensemble arrangement of the 40 and sometimes of the 15 is where I started studying how to live in poetry. I want to transfer study as a practice of revision on the edge, where ethics and aesthetics are in parallel play. some kind of homeless shift between reading and writing that emerges in a set as our cut-up schedule, a willow's diverse list of things, point-to-point restlessness, interlocking schemes of material breaks, the constantly renewed syllabus of a new composers guild in the middle of enjoying itself. What we come together to try to do starts to look like what we do when we come together to enjoy ourselves, handing saying what we want for one another, to one another, in and out of words. "50 little springs with a viva in them, like we were all alone. The turned origin in leaps and unreliable sources, the way you're fold in Grace in Gutenberg or Göttingen, the unset jewels in a fable of broken bread, the beautiful blackness of your kids in moonlight, the way nobody fucks with them out of fear of love, the way you hit me in the eye in the car that time, the way you can't hide even when you want to hide, the way you elegantly sip that warm woolen sweater for the hip upsetting straight edge of your hip curve, the funny things you do with your legs sometimes, the mutual resistance of Arthur's encroachment, the various modes of elliptical pain relief, the archive of archives in your pocketbook. The wind curls tapestries on your corner too. The echo of it hisses vertically in the music, in the mess you make with a collage of delicacies. The unending way we be all up in your way. The sounding reticence of your publicness. The mirepoix you fuse from my various egos. The black and red Valentine as you wander. The new worn trace of analog in your hands. The way you shape their familiar incursions, the way you've been waiting for 50 till 51, the way of silt and the way of silk and the way it's the other way in the breathing density of the lit, in the way you go your ways, pondering their air, the way you share, the way you change my life, the way, oh no, they can't take that away from me, the way of the book is lonely now, as you see. The answer is to get us some land somewhere. The need for 9 pressure cookers is common. The caramel and burnt ends and thin crispiness. The way Miss Maddie has become your memory. The up-to-the-minute forecast of your touch. The raise a desolate condition till it turns. The way our waywardness has gone awry. The way you welcome all our mutant visitors. The way your name brings blur inside, the lost notes we keep folding and taping to the raised canvas of all that beauty wasting away. The lore of early courtliness that now we relay the way old friends do to their oldest friends. The actual enactment of intimate gathering, to return to the source for the weapon of theory. The way you pray through exiled pleasures and the way you wind through cities like a little spring. The way little springs can sing to themselves, relaxing. The way the origin of spring is ritual June. The turn of original frisk to invisible string. The insensible, the sensible, and the sprung. Tiling, lining notes. A river is studio agitation through one window, a loft in rock bottom soft support and rumble, a room, a cell alight in the way the walls walk off in jubid pat and tiling. The pattern on the river floor all absolute and indiscernible unless you walk it, in the river, as the river. As all this rotary soar of the damned and held, sous vide in second linearity, parading in this tubid lining out of the basic line all in against itself in black and blue switch black, and Beatrice smiling, seeing all our little differences together in the venereal collection area's serial eddying of how we taste and feel inseparably. There's just so many ways to keep going along the way. The miraculous influences deltaed in Floridian branch or mangrove double silt, Coahoma County moaning or swung Oklahoming, a gap band or a gap in nature kind of sounding, drowning, burning, this continually Caribbean being on fire of the river, from river to river on canal and torn to another bleeding place we from in our Lenape shift, our Delaware gap band, sending geography through a sycophantic horn chart of the natural city in and out of its broken window. Cadence still cruising mobile studio, unnamed and making waves is what it sounds like. Lining, tiling, moaning, smiling, drowning, bleeding, burning, seeing, sending, sounding just like Joseph Daly, Thurman Barker, Dave Holland, and Sam Rivers. Tilling, limning notes. Tile or fleck, as if daub or stroke, but a cut of blue. Flesh cut a glance of blue for train in the general murder, all but mute for Amadou Diallo. You have to get so close to see the glance and shine. You get too close to see the glint in flames. Read the braille of trembling through the sea of inflection. Éclat, écligné, and cling to the firmness of our wave function. A clarity of sweep in black as dawn dawns on us with such gravity, such fabricant gathering of matter in the fabricant matter of gathering Jack Whitten's Rose Corona, working violently with outpouring, work made of unmaking, a monastic love of sequence, in solemn, intermittent space-time sewn with the decorative weight of Edward Whitten and Thomas Whitten and Bill Frank Whitten. This scroll of cut, outbroken canvas looks like looking with a movie. Injured, lined out surface adores flatness with thick character acting, mapping distressed by aerial grounding, scuffed ornament, microtonal abrasion all over again. The textual slur of tilling and limning, Emma and Emily whispering, the precise irregularity of Anna mosaic gesture is a habitat of schools in a bessemer tree, a reef corral and blue hint shadow, graphic, soft enough to test and moor and wreathe. A totem is a haunted keyboard, and this ingenious mechanical device is so we can differ in elegiac practice. For criticism is grounded differing, and deciphering is separation scale. Thank you.